Peace, peace. Hey, y'all. Hey, Mike Kiana here, and we are back with another stream. Now, y'all, we gotta talk. We gotta talk. We gotta talk. We gotta talk so much in so little time. Y'all can see the energy radiating from me. Like I can't even. It's so okay. I don't know where to start. We gonna start there. The energy is so like high and vibrate. The energy is vibrating so high and my mind is just on 10 because my energy is on 10 because my spirit is on 10, and that can be a little bit discomforting when it comes to communicating myself to the world because it's like, girl, you got to make it make sense for everybody else. I got to make it make sense for myself essentially because I'm just feeling all this energy and all these emotions, and then I have to synthesize in my mind exactly what it is that I want to say, what I want to communicate. So that's the work that I'm doing in this moment. And honestly, I was just gonna go live, but I'm like, let me like do a little list to kind of keep me on track to what I'm saying because there's so much to share. And essentially the message that I'm sharing is gonna be on gratitude, it's gonna be on manifestation, it's gonna be on balance, and then we're gonna be exploring some questions, some thoughts that I have been thinking, and we want to explore them together. So starting there, I want to start off first with gratitude. Gratitude to source, most and foremost. Gratitude to self, and gratitude to community. The Monday night self love session was amazing. Tonight is always a good time. It's always therapeutic. It always gives what it needs to give when I'm in community with my sisters. And tonight was no different. Well, every night is a little bit different, but in terms of it being everything it needed to be, tonight was no different. Shout out to the ladies in the Moon and Night Self Love Session. And you can access the Self Love Session every Moon Day or Monday from 8 to 9. I hold space. You can access this through the Patreon when you sign up for your membership. This is a women only space. But the Patreon in itself is open to everybody. So feel free to click that link in the bio, that link in the description. Look around, take what you need to take, leave what doesn't resonate. And if you feel so called to become a member, please do so. It will be greatly appreciated. I can't wait to connect with y'all. It's so much. It's so much that we have to do. It's so much work that we have to do together. And I look forward to it. A lot of that work was built on tonight. We talked about a lot. I ain't even gonna get into details because if you wasn't there, you wasn't there. But we gotta live our lives in the present. Don't think about it as you missed out. Think about it as you have something to look forward to next Monday. So shout out to the girls, shout out to my sisters. That was everything. Gratitude, and also still feeling that energy of gratitude, still speaking to that energy of gratitude. Gratitude to myself for creating the space. So let me give y'all a little rundown, a little backtrack the story a little bit. I started the Monday night self-love sessions. I want to say y'all know how I get with the fourth dimension. Like when it comes to dates and times and stuff, terrible. But I think it was towards the end of 2025. I feel like it was like November, December 2025 when I started holding the Monday night self-love sessions. And I created it as a space for melanated women to come and release, reflect, and set the tone for the rest of our week. And I specifically chose Monday because Monday is related to the moon. It is the day to reflect on, do your shadow work, reflect on your emotions, reflect on your inner world. And I think that's the perfect way to start your week off by doing so. So we always do that underneath the moon. And tonight happens to be a new moon energy. New moon energy. New moons are great for manifestation. So this is very, very in alignment. I always love the energy of being supported by the moon. The moon being our feminine body, the sun is our masculine body, the moon, our feminine body, representing that emotion, the pulling of the tides, the shadows and the darkness, the light in the darkness. So that's always a beautiful energy to gather, especially for the melanated woman. And I started this space specifically for that reason, also to increase my knowledge on the moon because I was just getting into the moon cycles. And that led to me starting the moon circles, which I held for the first half of this year from January up until May of 2026. I was holding full moon circles, which was essentially a space for us to do what we do virtually on Microsoft Teams in person. And then I would be able to incorporate the movement, the music, the yoga, the journaling, and everything in one, and having it be an in-person experience. So that was fun. That was a beautiful journey. And now, taking it back even further than that, right? So we got the Monday Night Self-Love Sessions, which started the end of 2025. Still building on that. Shout out to me for consistency, because if you know me, I'm somebody who will pick up a lot of things. Like I'm always trying shit. I'm always doing shit. I'm always like I'm geared toward trying new things. I think they call it the shiny object syndrome. Love new beginnings. And on the other end of that spectrum, it makes me a little bit more prone to just as easy as I can pick something up, I can put something down. So I'm proud of myself for still holding the Monday Night Self-Love Sessions and building with it and allowing it to really grow and bloom, because that's so essential when it comes to manifestation. We talked about this in the session as well. Aljamar, hey, what you sending me mad faces? What they mean? We talked about this in the self-love session as well. And patience is an essential key to manifesting, right? So think about it as when you plant a seed, you have to have patience. You have to allow it to grow and bloom from, like, you can't see it. You can't see the process. But essentially when it sprouts, then you like, oh shit. Now I'm glad I didn't go digging and fucking with it and messing with it to see how it was growing underneath the soil. Or I'm glad I didn't abandon it, you know? You have to have patience. It's really essential. And I was talking about how my mind works essentially. And it's like it's always active, it's always moving, it's always going. Like I'm a high energy person a lot of times. And it gives the perception that I'm not being patient, because it's like I don't like waiting, but I'm not going to abandon my goals. I have high endurance. I do have patience. I have, what's the word? Endurance is the word, but also not like persistence is the word. Endurance, persistence. This has been happening to me all night. It's like, you know how your energy be so high, you be trying to like think of a specific word, but the shit just keeps invading you. But that's just teaching me that there's many different words to communicate what I'm trying to say. So we're gonna use some of the other ones. High endurance, high persistence, right? So I'm never going to really abandon my goal. But my mind though, is gonna go everywhere while my body is still in one place. And it gives the perception of being impatient. It's like I'm here, but I'm not here. And I feel like that's a superpower, because it's like you using your mind to literally travel while your body is in one spot. So I don't think that's a bad thing at all. But I'm looking at the chat now because I don't got nothing else open. What's all these emojis? You gotta give me words. What you talking about? I don't know what these symbols mean. And tell me, how do I say your name? Because I just been like Al Jamar. Tell me how to pronounce your name. But patience. Patience is an essential key to manifestation. You can dig up the seed and check to see if it's growing. You gotta just be patient. And I promise you it's gonna be worth it, because whatever whatever the soil yields is exactly what was supposed to happen, right? So let's say you're gardening and you're planting something and you gotta wait, say, 6 months for it to bloom. Say you thought you was planting watermelon and it ended up being strawberries. Like just using any type of example, yeah, but y'all gonna follow what I'm saying. That's telling you exactly what you needed to know. You didn't know exactly what you was putting in to the pot, but once it bloomed, you got to see that, and now you know how to pivot and how to change. Or say after 6 months, which was planting never bloomed, that's telling you something. Like either you need to wait longer or you did something that didn't align with your mission in the planting process. You gotta go back and reflect. Say you wait 6 months and you get exactly what you was looking for. That's probably one of the best outcomes. Well, of course, you're gonna feel like that's the best outcome because it's like, damn, I got it right on the first try. But nothing is necessarily better or worse than the other because as long as you're learning your lesson from whatever was brought forth from the soil, then it's a W. So that was that on patience, on manifestation. Um, I also wanted to look that up too. I wanted to look up the difference between dreams versus delusion. Because I'll be saying be delusional, be delusional. I've been saying that for the last week or so. Like, I'm here for the delusion. But I realized that words do hold power, they do resonate on the frequency. And I low key been feeling a little crazy. I'm like, this is fun, but this is a little like, it's a little touchy. So then I started to say dreaming, be a dreamer instead of being delusional because it feels better. So I do want to look up like the difference between it. So I'm about to share my screen so we can look up. And while I'm doing this, if you haven't already, make sure you click them links. Go check out all of the content on the YouTube page. Make sure y'all follow me on Facebook, Instagram, all of the things. Make sure on Twitch. That's where we're streaming from at this moment. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitch. And make sure y'all join the Patreon as well. So let me share this. Um, wait, I need to make sure it do what I need to. All right, here we go. And then we go share screen. And then we go new tab. All right, because I need to know the difference. Delusion versus dream. They probably not gonna give me what I'm looking for. Let's see though. Is y'all seeing what I'm seeing? Yes. A dream is an aspirational goal or an involuntary mental state that you are actively aware is an abstraction. Conversely, a delusion is a rigid, fixed belief that you are entirely convinced is true, even when overwhelmingly verifiable reality proves otherwise. Oh shit. This doesn't help. This doesn't help me. Well, it does help me, but it's not what I was looking for. The fundamental difference can be broken down into their grounding in reality. See what the fuck? That's what I'm saying right there, because you have to be delusional because of course reality is not showing you what you're trying to manifest because you're manifesting it, like you're making it, you're pulling it from your dream realm into the real realm so it can be a part of the reality that you exist in. So yeah, it is delusion. You do have to be delusional. Let me look at the fundamental differences. Reality check label as a goal fantasy. Let me see actionable intent. Excuse me. Actionable intent usually functions as an objective, allowing for rational steps, planning, and mentorship to achieve the desired outcome. Delusion often pursued impulsively without sustainable planning or a logical pathway to fruition. Oh, see, this is a very good juxtaposition. I like how they put these together. And I can't say that one is necessarily better than the other because it does take a it does take delusion sometimes. Like I think it depends on the velocity. Is that the word? The size, the weight of the dream, the thing that you are manifesting. Because if it's something that's like really huge and it's something that's like kind of foreign to the reality that you live in, you have to be delusional because that energy is not present in your reality at the moment. So you got to like really, really, literally reach up and grab that shit and then pull it down into reality. And then certain things that aren't so far out or aren't as big and a little bit more feasible, then you can just dream it. You know, you could just dream it into reality because it's like there are already steps, there are already breadcrumbs, there's already a ladder kind of connecting your dream to reality. So you kind of just build on what is already there, if that makes sense. Cognitive state, flexible. With a dream, you are flexible. A person can reflect on a dream, adjust it based on feedback, or let it go. With a delusion, fixed, unshakable. Attempts to challenge the belief are often met with distress or paranoia. Listen, I'm no doctor, but at the end of the day, I feel like there's a place for both of these. For there's a place for delusion, right? There's a place for you to reject anything in your reality that's going against what you know we were put here to manifest. I'm gonna say that. So yeah, I mean, I fuck with delusion. I do. I do. When it's related to living in your purpose, when it's related to manifesting more love in the world, I do. Manifesting more love in yourself. I cannot say. I cannot say that I don't. Let me stop sharing. Oh, here we go. It's a delusion. Sometimes it takes delusion. Sometimes it's a dream, and I feel like delusions can become dreams. But it's sometimes there's things that only you can see, and you have to say fuck whatever else is going on around you in order to make that thing plain. Like I'm pretty sure electricity was probably seen as a delusion. I'm pretty sure cell phones, computers were seen as a delusion when a person was talking about creating it in a time where it didn't exist. You feel me? So be delusional. Said what I said, meant what I said. And that brings me into um I was looking at my chart, right? Because the energy of Neptune was on my mind. So I started exploring it. And I know that Neptune is our planet of dreams, of spirituality, because my dreams have been so vivid. Like they literally been like movies. Like I feel like I literally been traveling to other dimensions while I sleep to the point where it's just like it feels just as real as this reality. So I was looking into the energy of Neptune, like what's going on with the Neptunes in my chart and all that. And I realized that my Mars is squaring Neptune. So I remember, shout out to the Queen Poe for this reference. When something is squaring, it's like it's squaring up, like they beefing, like it's not really working coherently together. So it's challenges there. So my Mars is squaring my Neptune. Mars is our of planet of war, planet of inspired action, fire, and it's squaring, beefing with Neptune, planet of dreams. And it makes so much sense as to why which I was kind of speaking on earlier, like why I can know exactly what the fuck to do, but I don't be wanting to do it. Like I don't be wanting to take the time. I just want to jump into, like, I want to be there already. Like I want to dream it, and then I just want to I want it to be there. I want to be in the dream. But my challenge is applying that executive function in your frontal lobe and using it to visualize and actualize and conceptualize and order the steps that it takes to manifest that vision. Right? So I got a song called Vision, which is available on Even. Y'all can support that as well. Tap in. It's also on streaming platforms. But if y'all really want to look out for the cookout, if y'all really want to support what I got going on, then I urge you to go to even.biz and search it and download it. You can pay whatever you feel called, from as low as $1 to as much as you want to. And I'm going to put the link in the description of this video as well. And in that song, it just talks about my vision. I got a plan and I got a vision. You don't understand it, you can get missing. I won't let you ruin my tribe with a vision. I'm taking aim and I shoot with precision. And it's just like that song. It was really a download. Like I write a lot, and it's something I've been doing since I was a child. So I can discern when it's like when I'm thinking of the shit compared to when it was given to me. And that joint was definitely given to me. And looking back on it now, because I think that was like a couple years ago, 2024, I think, when I dropped that song. Looking back on it now, I can see exactly what my chart is saying. Like I can see that square between the Mars and the Neptune, because it's like but I also feel like that's a part of my journey, right? That is how I manifested, by just jumping into it, because it's like, why the fuck can't I leap? Why can't I collapse these timelines, right? That's the delusion part. And it's only a delusion until you do it and you do it and you do it. And then it's just like something you do. If that makes sense. It does make sense, because if it was supposed to make sense to you, then it made sense to you. And if it didn't make sense to you, ask me a question, because I love questions. I love to answer questions. I love to sometimes. And I love to ask questions. I'm a very inquisitive person. I'm a lifelong student and teacher. The best teachers are students, because they never stop learning. So if you have any questions, if you can relate to what I'm talking about, definitely drop it in the comments, because I want to connect on these topics. And we always dive deeper in the Patreon. That is the hub that I'm building. That is the self-love center for all of the like-hearted people to do this work together. So gratitude in advance for everybody that's tapping in, everybody that will tap in. And I think the last thing that I wanted to talk about with y'all tonight, and no, I don't know if it's the last thing, but it's the last thing that I got on this list right now. It's the embodiment, which is a key aspect of manifestation, right? So I think that is part of that step from going from delusion to dream to reality, is embodiment. And that can look it's going to look delusional. It's going to look crazy, right? If you walking around saying I'm this or I'm that, I'm a millionaire, I'm a star, and you don't have the physical means to support that, it's going to look delusional. But you got to understand that embodiment is one of the first steps to manifesting anything that you want to bring forth into this reality. You have to. It's like, the saying, you either got it or you don't. You either got it or you don't. So if you're a millionaire, you're a millionaire. You either got it or you don't. If you keep putting yourself in a mindset that you don't have it and you working for it and you're trying to get it, you're always going to be working for it and trying to get it. You either got it or you don't. And we got it, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So embodiment, patience, gratitude, key ingredients. Gratitude is probably like the water. I would say embodiment is the seed or the soil. Patience is like probably the air or the sun. And then gratitude is definitely the water. Gratitude is the water. and you have to water your plants, because if you don't, whatever you have, whatever already that you already accumulated, that shit is going to dry up and struggle up, and you're going to have less than what you had before because you wasn't giving gratitude to what you already had. I love how my mind thinks in pictures and images and shit. This is why I'm a writer. This is why I'm a creator, because it's just like so I feel like those are the three key ingredients to manifestation. And then I also wanted to look up the difference between self-esteem and self-confidence. I was watching the 85 shot. I think I'm thirsty. Hold on. I was watching the 85 South show the other night, the episode where they was talking to what's his name? What's his name? John. His name was John something Bryant. Hold on. 1:11 on the clock. I'm in alignment. But so in line, I'm trying to die, yeah. Look at the time and I see angel numbers. Talking major numbers. Hold on, y'all. I want to get his name right. 85 South show. It was John Hope Bryant. I'm surprised that I got the first and the last right. John Hope Bryant. That was the episode, and I didn't even finish it because it was like a lot of gems being dropped in there. And yeah, so go check that out. I love 85 South. And he mentioned self-esteem versus confidence. He was like, they're not the same. No, I didn't get to the part where you broke it down, but we about to break it down right now. Right now. Let me see. Hold on, let me share. Oh, I think Mercury is out of retrograde because yeah, look at you working how you supposed to work. Technology, come on. Okay. So let's see, what is the difference? Self-esteem versus self-confidence. I feel like self-esteem is the embodiment part and self-confidence is the mental thought process part. So let's see, let's verify. Self-confidence is your belief in your ability to perform tasks and achieve goals, making it situational and skill-based. Mental. Self-esteem is your overall sense of self-worth, emotional, and how you value yourself as a person, regardless of external achievements. Oh, I like this. Key differences. Focus. Confidence is external, what you can do, while self esteem is internal, who you are. Measurement. Confidence is measured by facts and results. Self esteem is often evaluated by comparing yourself to others or measuring against personal core beliefs. Origin. Confidence is built through practice, experience, and feedback in specific domains. Self esteem develops over a lifetime through your environment, childhood experiences, and how you perceive your intrinsic worth. Oh, this is so good. See, now we're going to have to dive deeper into Patreon. Now I'm having to make like a little exercise for us to do because this was so good. Okay. I see that. I feel that. And I think it's beautiful when both can evolve together. Like I visualize two thermostats rising simultaneously. I think that's so beautiful. All right, so that's what I had planned so far, but I got so much stuff that I've been writing down because I haven't went live in a couple days, y'all. So much has been going on, and when I get off of here, we're gonna be reacting to all of this stuff that's going on in the streaming world. But before we go there, we had to Prioritize. See, I'm working on it. I'm getting better. Prioritize. I had to prioritize. So let me see. I have a lot of things that I've been like just jotting down that I really wanted to talk to you about. Excuse me. What does it mean to imagine, to dream? We must give ourselves freedom to dream. See, this is what I'll be talking about. What's today? Today is the 14th. On the 12th, I said, we must give ourselves freedom to dream. And then I said, never be. So I'm gonna just go on the first one first. We have to give ourselves freedom to dream, right? This essentially is hinting at the idea of delusion. Like, you have to give yourself freedom to dream. You gotta. Oh wait, let me stop sharing this. Okay, here we go. Especially, I feel like, because I can only really speak from my experience as a melanated being, melanated woman, but speaking to the whole culture, the whole diaspora, like I feel like it'd be hard on Black people to dream. Like we always be so bogged down in reality, and whether it's bills, responsibility, or it's fucking projections from everybody else around us, it's like we can be so easily confined and contained. Because if you think about it, it's just like like you know how easy it is to capture light. Like think about how your house captures light, right? It don't do shit. The light just shine, but light will shine through your window, and now that light is captured, it's caged in, it's boxed in. And I feel like we are light, so that's why it's so easy for us to be boxed in like that. And at the same time, it's stressful because it's like, damn, we be feeling the pressure to be what everybody projects on us, and it's like, no, fuck that. You have to give yourself the consent, the freedom to dream. Fuck what anybody else is talking about. Like, you know your path, or if you don't know your path, it's your responsibility to figure it out. It's not nobody else's job. It's not nobody else's responsibility. And it comes with a lot, because it's like, okay, yes, you do have responsibilities and you have to tend to those. I'm not saying abandon them, but when it comes to like upholding somebody else's perception of you, you can't really give a fuck about that. You truly and you honestly can, because it's only going to limit you from becoming all that you can be. And that's the point of being here. That's why we exist in this physical realm, so God can see the world from our eyes. But it's a life that only you can create, that only you can live, and that's why you was put here. So you got to tap into that. It's your job. That's literally your job. Like fuck all these other jobs. That's their jobs. Like we doing these jobs so they can live their dreams, so they can manifest other things that they want. Fuck that. You got dreams too. What about yours? Yours is just as important as the next person. And it's your job to put that energy on it. It's your job to manifest it. And that's something that I had to realize too, because I would sometimes feel like, damn, like I know what I'm capable of. I know I'm great. But it can be hard to manifest that when the external world is not reflecting it back at you, until you learn that that is the epitome of manifestation. It is holding that self-esteem, that self-confidence, that dream, even when and especially when it's not being reflected at you in this physical realm, because that's your job to bridge that gap between the ideal and what is real. And once you own that responsibility, it will become over time. It's just like exercise, right? It gets easier, and then it gets harder again, and then it gets easier, and then it gets harder again. It's a constant cycle. You keep building up. You keep building up on what you've already built. But you got to start. And that's the scariest part. That can be the scariest part, because it's like you don't know where to start. You don't know how to start. But I always say start where you are. And this can look like, if your dream is to be a singer, start where you are. Everybody got a phone. Everybody got access to music. If you don't got access to a phone or music, you got access to your vocal cords. You got access to the melodies in your mind. Like literally start where you are and God rewards effort. There's no such thing as perfection. That's something that we created with our human minds. God rewards effort. So if you just put the effort forward, you're going to receive everything that you need to get everything that you want. That's just how it works. That's just how it works. And you got to remember that even when you're not seeing it that way, even when reality isn't reflecting back to you that way and it feels different, this is where that delusion comes in. You have to know that that's just how it works. Feel me? If you feel me, drop some purple hearts in the comments. Give yourself freedom to dream. I'm gonna put that. I got a piece called "Free to Dream." I forgot about that one. That was one of my favorite ones to perform and stuff. I think I'm gonna put that in the Patreon too. And I think some of my pieces in the Patreon are available to everybody, but some of them are only available to the members. So that's a thing as well. And then I said, never be scared to pivot. It's your life. It can be hard to like, because it's like, all right, we building this life, right? As humans, we all architecting our lives. And then say you choose to live your life as the architect, right? So you go to school for this, you study this for 10 years, you've been working in your field for however long, like this is what you do. You're an architect. But at some point in time, you feel the inclination, you feel something in your intuition, something in your spirit saying, like, I want to be a painter. You owe it to yourself to explore that. Like, you got to listen to that internal voice because that's God speaking to you. Like, a lot of times, I feel like people will perceive God speaking to them as like hearing a literal voice in their ear, which some people do have the ability to do, or some people perceive it as like God returning literally in the sky and speaking down to you, like on some that's what I would consider delusional, but I know people look at me as delusional, so not in a name calling way, but you know, everybody has their own perception and perspective of God, and that's mine. I feel like those voices that speak to you from inside of you, that's God speaking to you. And you have to abide, you have to listen to it. Like I said, God rewards effort. So it's not just like drop everything and go do it, which you could do. You could explore it that way, but at least like lean into it, like research it, try it, you know, dabble with it, and you're going to find your path. You just have to try. Like you just have to try. That's literally the only prerequisite to getting what you or being where you need to be. You just gotta try. So don't be scared to pivot. And an analogy that I was thinking about when I wrote this down was um like trying on shoes. But when I wrote it down, like when I was thinking of it, the analogy was clear in my mind. But all I wrote down was the shoe analogy, and that doesn't help me remember what the fuck I was thinking at that moment. I think I was saying, don't be scared to pivot. I think I was saying something like, if you like sneakers and you got a whole closet full of sneakers, but then you start to like heels, go get some fucking heels. Who cares if people be like, oh, you used to wear sneakers? So the fuck what? Now you want to wear heels? Wear heels. Or if you somebody who wore heels, and now you like, these heels fucking hurt. I'm never wearing heels again. Don't wear the heels no more. Like, it's your life. Why would you give anybody else more control than yourself to do what the fuck you feel called to do? Some things be simple. Like it's simple, it's easy to understand, and it's only hard because we put so much fear into it. But it's like, what you fear more than God? That would make a lot of things simpler. And if you realize that God is a part of you and God is that internal voice, it's like, what the fuck I fear more than not following my intuition? That's the scariest thing to me. And every time I don't follow my intuition, I get my ass whipped. And I know that it's my fault because I didn't listen. Like, But it's all lessons though. God is not vengeful. God not here to trick you or punish you. Like God just wants you to learn. That's all. So try shit, do shit. Don't be scared to change your mind. Don't be scared to pivot. It's okay. You'll be all right. You are divinely protected. Trust yourself. Let me look through these notes and see if there's anything else that I want to speak on tonight. Hmm. I got a question down here. It says, how can you be deceived by yourself? Aren't you, in effect, who you believe you are? Because I always question, like, I believe in, like, you can lie to people, but you can't lie to yourself. And then the question came to me, like, how can you deceive yourself? Like, how is it possible? Because aren't you, in effect, who and what you believe you are? So how can you not be what you believe you are? And then what I received was like, is that what you truly believe? Because you can present to have certain beliefs, which I guess is the difference between like self confidence and self esteem. You can project certain energies, but then again, it's like, how can you project something that's not within you? And I think that speaks to the potential. Like, you do have the potential for it because we have the potential to be literally everything. Like, that's the power that Source has embedded within us. And I think the discrepancy is when your belief isn't yet strong enough to where it's still malleable, it's still like not sturdy enough. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's just about reflecting, which is why I'm so heavy on journaling, reading, writing, because it allows you to reflect. And also, thinking of it now, I think that's why I be so like ready to like jump into action, because I spend a lot of time in both realms. I spend a lot of time in the thought realm, thinking, writing, journaling, reading, and then when it's time to go, I just be ready to go. Like I'm ready to move. I'm ready to put it in motion. So it always gives balance. I got a lot of Libra in my chart, so it always gives balance. And I feel like when you are able to assess that for yourself and with yourself amongst community, because it always helps to be amongst like-minded, like-hearted people who are on the same journey, who are experiencing or have experienced and will experience the things that you are currently living through. I think that's a beautiful experience because nobody is created to live alone. We are social creatures. And your tribe is out there, trust me. Trust me. And if it's not, isn't there is no if, because your tribe is out there. So just keep living, keep loving, and you will find them. They will find you. I promise. I think that what it's one more thing. It's one more thing. I wanted to look up what is karmic retribution. Because this is a term that like a lot of things, you know how you know shit, but you don't really like you know of stuff. This is a term that I know of, but I need to like look it up. What is karmic retribution? So let me share a screen. I think this will be going. I think this is the last thing. I think. Confirmation you on. Damn, I spoke too soon. They want to freeze on me. They want to freeze on me. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Share. Can y'all see my screen? Yes. Cool. Tired spelling shit wrong. What is karmic retribution? Karmic retribution is a spiritual concept that a person's actions have inevitable consequences, where negative deeds result in suffering or misfortune. Rooted in Eastern traditions like Buddhism, Taoism, it dictates that the universe balances itself through a natural law of cause and effect rather than divine punishment. Yes, yes. So I do believe in karmic retribution because I'm always heavy on karma. I don't even feel called to read no more. I'm always heavy on karma. Like I always say, karma going karma. Karma going karma. The universe has a way of evening itself out. And I was thinking about justice. Hold on. I was thinking about justice, and I'm like, there are essentially three different forms of justice. There's justice in the mind, right, where it's like you can conceive, you can conceptualize right or wrong, so it's just. But there's justice in the heart, to where it's like, yeah, maybe my mind could understand it, but I wouldn't react like that. That's still kind of fucked up. And then there's justice in the spirit, which is karma. So the example, hold on, fair, fair. I said, should I share this? I think I'm just gonna save it for the Patreon. I think I'm gonna save it for the Patreon. Y'all gotta lock in. But I'll give y'all a little razzle dazzle. So essentially it's like, for example, say say somebody is we'll use jail for example. Somebody's like arrested for something, assault or something like that. And your mind is like, should I use assault? Is that a good one? Yeah, we could use that because it could like we don't know the context of it. So somebody's arrested for assault, right? And your mind is like, okay, you did a bad thing, you went to jail. You can say it's fair, but in your heart, it's like jail is not really a fair consequence for many people. Like I feel like jail, where they cage you like animals, should be restricted for like pedophiles and shit like that. I don't think jail is like people need education, people need rehabilitation, people need fucking love and community and shit like that. People don't need jail. That should be restricted for a certain category of people, like the Epsteins of the world and shit like that. So in your mind, you can say it's fair, but in your heart, you can feel like it's not fair. And then in the spiritual realm, karma is going to karma, right? We be trying to take on the role of the spirit, of the source, of God, and inflict certain justices, but there's no way that an injustice can go unbalanced by the universe. That's just how shit works. Like whether it happens in front of our eyes, whether it happens in our lifetime, we be wanting to like control when it happens, but that's something that we can never truly control. You just end up putting out more negative energy, creating more negative karma. So that pretty much sums that up. And I'm just going to probably like take a picture of my journal and put it in a Patreon so we can go into a deeper conversation about it, because I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on it as well. And if you have any thoughts, definitely feel free to drop it in the comment. I'm really interested in hearing what y'all think. I'm always interested in sharing what I think. I know I'm going to talk my shit. And I think that is it for our conversation tonight. I thank y'all for coming to the table and listening to me talk, because I really needed to talk. I really needed to get that off and share these messages with y'all. And I appreciate y'all for receiving. So much love, so much gratitude. I pray that your night is just as beautiful as you are. And yeah, this is a good stream. Another good stream is always a good time. And I will see y'all when the stars align. Don't forget to live in love.